And I'm proposing three things, and I've been proposing them. And we must not wait, because waiting is showing how unprepared we are. Our country, as you are all aware, reviews the oil prices in the middle of the month. The people in government should be busy. They should actually not have broken for Easter holiday. They should be busy dealing with three things. One, allocating enough resources for subsidies, because Kenyans are not going to shoulder the disruption in oil prices if the government will not be doing something about it. Number one thing is to provide enough resources for subsidies. Kenya currently consumes around 400 million liters of petrol and diesel per month. And I heard the government people purporting there is 17 billion for all stabilization of prices. That is not enough, my friends. Kenya needs to allocate adequate resources to offer subsidies to the fuel pump prices. Because consumers cannot shoulder the price, neither can our economy be able to shoulder the price increment. The second thing that you have to do now is that the government needs to draft a bill immediately. Instead of this bill they are bringing in parliament to make one company assess to profit from Kenyan resources and benefiting the same people in power, the bill they should bring before the House immediately is that of making fuel in Kenya VAT exempt. We are in a desperate situation. We need to deal with that now. The third thing is that the minister in charge of fuel holistically, and the minister for transport, and especially the one for transport, they need to give a gazette notice immediately, waiving the 7 shillings in fuel levy that was added in 2024. Those things are the only flexibilities that can work immediately without waiting. And it is disappointing to see that the people in government are prioritizing politics now, going around the country to politic, when the country is facing an imminent crisis as we go to the mid of April. In an oil-producing country like Kenya, the flexibility is there, and especially when it comes to government lowering their appetite for taxes and levies. The current situation in Kenya is that of the fuel prices we pay in the pump, around 50% is levies and taxes. And therefore it means as you fuel with around 180 shillings, 90 shillings is money the government is collecting from you as you fuel your car. And therefore, there is a lot of flexibility up to all that wavelength that we should be exploiting. Unfortunately, it seems the people in government are just wishing this situation away. You can't wish it away. There has to be a deliberate and objective and active policy change that should be happening immediately now, not later. And therefore, I call upon them and again remind them, Kenyans are not going to accept any variations in fuel prices in the middle of April before the government talks about lowering the fuel levy by first abolishing the 7 shillings that was added in 2024. Secondly, before the government offers subsidies to Kenyans and Kenyan factories. And number 3, before we make fuel VAT exempt. And many times people can ask, why can't a member of parliament do this in parliament? Because Kenyans, legitimately, they should ask us these questions. That is a gridlock. In parliament, there is something we call money bills. And whatever we need to do across all these perspectives, you must introduce a bill that has a money element. We call them money bills. And they move faster when they are government-sponsored bills. And because it is the same government that added VAT in 2023, it is the same government that added fuel levy in 2024. And it is the same government that abolished subsidies in 2022. Then the ball is in their court to undo whatever they did. And again, I'm repeating, this cannot wait. It must be done immediately, because we must be seen and we must also proceed to do what is right for our economy and what is appropriate for us to do now. EPRA CEO and the Kenya Pipeline and the PS for energy, and especially the petroleum part. It has very little to do with the welfare of Kenyans. It has everything to do with watu wadogo wamekula chakula ya mzee. And Kenyans need to know this clearly so that we remove the veil out of whatever it is happening in our fuel sector. The second thing is that, as Kenyans are aware, there is a program called G2G. G2G is basically a business, and it has been since it started. And it is a business entrenched in patronage. It is a business done by the same people in government. And that is why you realize the same company handling G2G, 75% of the fuel that comes into Kenya, it is the same company that is dealing with exploiting our Turkana oil. It is not a coincidence. It is because G2G, the way it was fashioned, is a cabal of patronage. And it has percolated from downstream to midstream to upstream now. And that is why it is the same people who are exploiting our fuel resources in Turkana, and of course, by taking advantage of our country and by misusing power. It is very insensitive that when other countries are dealing on how to alleviate the matter and to deal with the issue of fuel supplies and prices to benefit their citizens, that in Kenya, the leadership is taking this crisis as a way of entrenching their same personal interests in the fuel sector. As I said when I was starting, the people who are arrested has nothing to do with Kenyans, normal Kenyans. They have everything to do with doing a business that is a domain of the people higher than them in the pecking order of the executive. And it is even more selfish that the same cabal dealing with G2G, and now they are exploiting the fuel resources in Turkana personally to benefit persons who wield power in Kenya. Unashamedly, they have brought a bill before Parliament now to make the same company benefit by giving them asset status, that their operations will now be at a special economic zone. They will not be going to be paying taxes. And I'm asking the people in government, can't enough be enough, my friends? How can we seek to benefit in a crisis